Okay. Hi guys, it's Angie Bells, my fairy treasures. Okay, we are back. So we're on to part 2. Okay, so this has all dried. We left off where we took the wall compound, which if you have texture paste, you can use that. But like I was saying, you can buy wall compound by like tubs like about this big of a tub. In the section where they have wall compound, and all that is like when you have a hole in the wall, you fix it. They sell it, especially at Home Depot, in tubs this big, and that's why I bought mine. You'll have it forever. Anyway, we took either texture paste or wall compound through a stencil, right? And we did that all over and let this dry for 24 hours. I don't think it does dry for 24 hours. You let it dry for a few hours and you'll be fine. But I let this go overnight. So now I'm going to use some colors here, watercolors. I'm going to use this really light, pretty color here to give that aging look. I'm going to use a color called Moon Glow. And these are by Daniel Smith's watercolors. And this is a little palette that I got from Daiso. Isn't this nice? I seen these. I picked up like 5 of them when I was there. And for all of my watercolors that come in tubes, and Daniel Smith's watercolors come in tubes. Look how gorgeous these watercolors are. They're kind of on the more expensive side, but not really. I mean, each tube costs $2 or $3, some $5, $6, $7. But look at them. You can tell they are just gorgeous, and I don't use them enough. We're going to use Moon Glow and Indigo. Oh, and there was another color, my blue color that I need. Just a second. What blue did I use? I used a little bit of a blue, and I'm trying to think what I used. On the last one, I'm trying to just make sure of what I used. Oh, anyway, this color here that I want to use, this is Jane Davenport's palette, which I love her watercolors also. Just a second. No, it's not this one. This is another Jane Davenport watercolor set. Okay, I think it's this. This is another Jane Davenport watercolor set. It's the one I love. I use it the most. It's called Brights, and I absolutely love it. So, and I think I'm going to use that color right there. All right, let's get started. Let me get my colors going. Spray them. And we got to get our Moon Glow going and our Indigo going. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, oh, you know what? Let me pause you guys because I need some clean water. And both my jars of water are just a mucky mess. So I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I had to, like I said, get some clean water going. Okay. I'm like everybody else. I keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it with the water. And one day you look up and you're like, okay, you better change your water someday. All right, so make sure where we're at. I'm going to add this very light blue here and there. Just here and there. I'm also going to spray it with water as we go along too, to kind of make it drip. So you guys, if I get out of frame for a second, don't get mad. I have to lift this up to kind of get things moving. Okay. I want this done messily. I don't want it blue everywhere because I have another color I'm going to add in here. Hopefully I stay somewhat in frame. What would we do without a water bottle? I know I'd be a mess. Okay. Just a second. I'll be back in frame in a second. There we go. Good, you guys can see. I'm kind of working far out, but I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. I'll come in closer as we go along here. All right, let me spray this with a little bit of water so we get some drips going. Let me wipe up my surface here. But if you can wait 24 hours to let your, whether it's texture paste or it's this wall compound, to really let it dry nicely, I think it will accept the watercolors better. So if I was you, I would really try to wait like till the next day. At least give yourself 24 hours, overnight at least. That's just my opinion. That's what I'm kind of thinking. That I can see it. Because I've worked with both where I've just waited a few hours, and then when I've waited a little bit longer, it just takes better to the watercolor. Or you can do this with sprays too. And I have a lot of sprays, but I didn't have the sprays of the colors that I wanted for this, so that's why I'm using my watercolors. And it's just to go to show you, if you have sprays, you can use sprays. You can use inks, you can use watered down acrylic paint. You can use so much stuff to do this with this coloring that I'm doing with these watercolors. Okay, so now we have this. The next thing I want to do, let me move this watercolor out of the way. I'm done with that light blue color. Is I want to use this color here. Or no, this one. So like a little bit of a stone color, real light beigey stone color. It's beautiful. And it's very light. So you can see I'm trying to keep everything very light and natural. So that's the goal. Okay. So in between here, we're going to add this lighter beigeier color, which I think is gorgeous. Get some drips going here. And this color, I love it. It kind of just adds that really old world color. Let me show it to you again. So if you're trying to, you don't have to get the same exact stuff just so you can match up colors. It's that color right there. And this color you saw was just a really light blue. And if you like what somebody's doing and you want to emulate that, or you like their idea or their color combination, you don't have to get the exact colors. You just need to know, you just need to have an idea of what they use. And then you can use whatever you have. Acrylic paints, watercolors, sprays, whatever you have. Because I was watching somebody from, I think, Prima, and they were doing this Finnabar type of work, and they used this color combination. And they used, I think, sprays. So these aren't exactly the colors, no, but the color combination I really liked. So that's where I got this color combo. Okay, absolutely gorgeous. Love it. Love how that looks. Okay, so let me put, I need to put that watercolor tray. All right, let's rinse our brush. Next, we're going to go in with the Daniel Smith watercolors. And the first color I'm going to go in with is the Indigo Moon. What I love about this Indigo Moon, it's purple. It actually has some real gemstones in it. So when it undulates out into different colors. It's really fabulous. Now this is what I want to put on the edges. And also, I don't want it to look like that. Of course, I want it to look more natural, so we're going to go over it with water. Just messily kind of go over it with water. So it undulates out into something, whatever. Perfect. Okay. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of water down first, because then that undulation will start right away. And undulation means like when the watercolor spreads out. And by them putting, like, I guess real gemstones, they said, in their watercolor, some of their watercolors, it undulates out, and it undulates out to like different colors come out. It's really cool. And now that I put my my tube, see, they're all tubes, and so you forget that you have these if you put these away. See, they all come in tubes. So by putting them in a palette like this and then keeping them with the rest of my palettes, it makes me use them a little more, because I actually forget I have these and I don't use them near enough. So there's a goal right there for me. Use my Daniel Smith watercolors more. Don't hold on even to your really good stuff. Use it all. What's the purpose of having it if we're not going to use it? Okay, now we're going to go in on the very, very outer edges with the indigo blue. Okay, so now I'm going to use some of that. This is gorgeous too. I love this indigo. And so I'm really going on the outside edges with this. Ooh, I love that. There's a little bit of water still left there, and so it undulated out perfectly. I didn't even need to add any extra water, so I'm just gonna come here on the edges. Go in a little further here because that's a little piece that needs to be cut off. I'm like, okay, you didn't even cut that off. Gorgeous. That looks so pretty, how that's just really framing this whole thing out. Absolutely love it. All right, let me shut this, rinse my brush. Let you guys come in and see closer up what we have going on. Oh, you guys can see from here. I don't need to do a close-up. You can see. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. That's pretty right there. You could just leave that and hang it. Hang it on the wall. Done. Okay, so what I need to do is, I need to let this dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my, of course, my blow dryer to this, or my heat gun, probably my blow dryer. Get this dry, and then when I come back, we're going to be all set to start adding all of our little arrangement of embellishments down here at the bottom and up the side, like I showed you. So let me put you on pause. Let me get this dry, and I'll be back. Okay, you guys, I am back. Another thing I did when I was off camera is I forgot to add just drips going down. So as you can see, I added some drips. I took my Moon Glow, Daniel Smith's, it's a color called Moon Glow, put it at the top with the paintbrush like this, and then let it just drip down like that. added water, let it drip, 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 drip all the way to the bottom. So just added a few drips of that. I can't believe I didn't do that. Like, that's my thing. I love drips. So I'm like, what are you doing? Okay, so we got those added. So now what we need to do is, you guys know, we have 2 of these, right? So all this is going to go on here. Okay, so let me start kind of taking this apart a little bit. The first thing is going to go down, to get this right, is, just a second, is this stuff. Now, let me see where we're at. I want you guys to be able to see the bottom, so let's go like this. Okay. So we're going to put these down. These are our little sprigs. And they need to go about right, yeah, right there is good, because these flowers are going to go right here like that. So these need to be like that. Perfect. Because I'm dealing with paper and this is plastic, I can go ahead and use hot glue. So where I can use hot glue, I'm going to use hot glue. Where I can't use hot glue, I'm going to use E6000, especially for like my metal. But if you do plastic to paper, you're fine to use the hot glue. And this is what I have to say about hot glue. I've heard people just badmouth hot glue to death. And if you listen to this advice, I think you'll save yourself a lot of problems. I wouldn't badmouth any adhesive. Every adhesive is great if it's used appropriately, if it's used for what you need it for. So some things hot glue is great for, some things hot glue is not great for. Now this is glue right here, E6000. It's good for everything. But the thing it's not good for, it's not instant adhesion. It takes a while to adhere. Unlike the hot glue gun, it's instant adhesion. But the E6000 takes, you know, I don't know, like an hour or so. So one good combination is sometimes to do hot glue and E6000. Hot glue for the instant, and then the E6000 to make sure it stays there in place. So that's another option of things too. The E6000 will glue it temporarily and hold it, or the hot glue, and hold it down for the E6000 to work. If it's not something like, if it's metal to metal or metal to plastic, something that hot glue is not going to work for. So, okay, that's perfect. And then let's put this one down also. Don't want this one to go here. I'll do one right there. And I'm being a little bit messy with my hot glue because you're not going to see all this. This is all going to be hidden by flowers and a whole bunch of other stuff, so it'll be fine. It will be fine. And you might be wondering what this is. This is a spatula, like you use for cooking, and you can use these for your hot glue to hold things down instead of using your fingers. You'll save your fingers. I do want to try, Prima has like these glues that you can use for anything. Metal to metal, metal to plastic, plastic to paper, whatever. So I do want to try those glues out, and Tim Holtz makes one too. Forgot what they call them, but anyway. I do want to buy those someday and try those. But right now these are the glues I have and they work. So this is what we're doing. Is this what I want here? I don't want this to go on top here. No. Or do I want this here to be kind of hanging off? Or do I want this like this? Nope, I think I want it like... I think I want it like that. Yeah, like that. I think that's gonna work. When I did my first piece, I should have had it hanging off a little bit more, but you're also kind of dealing with things that are kind of like, you know, they're twigs. Everything's not going to lay like you want it, so you need to kind of let go and let it hang the way it wants. Okay, I got to get another glue stick. And I am using a very old glue gun. It's probably, I think, one of my first ones I ever had. Because my big glue gun, which is what I really like with the jumbo glue sticks, it went out the other day. And I just haven't gone and bought myself a new glue gun. So, I don't know. This small one has advantages too. I have to replace the glue sticks a lot in the glue gun. But I like the little amount that comes out. When you have the jumbo glue gun, a lot comes out and it's not as controlled. So, there's something to be said about this little mini glue gun. I kind of like it. Okay, so this is in place here. Let's keep building. And I'm gonna work this far out, you guys. So hopefully everything's fine. I will come in closer, but I think you're gonna be able to see things so much better if I work out like this. Okay. Oh. So next I'm gonna put these feathers in. I'm gonna tuck these feathers in here. Just a second, trying to get my hot glue gun to work. There we go. And as you know, with hot glue, you can't be taken forever. You need to get in there. Oh shoot, went the wrong way with my feather. Let me get back in there. Turn my feather around. Okay. All right, that's gonna turn around as much as it's gonna turn around. All right, where are we gonna place this one at? I think right here. Let's get some hot glue in there. And we'll get this one in. See why you need instant adhesion? Because you need these things to set in when you're doing stuff like, it's almost like floor arrangements, you know? You need it to set in right away. You really don't have time for it to be fooling around. I'm just trying to see where I want this one at. What do I want to do? Sorry guys, I'm creating on the fly. All right, that's where that one wants to go. So it's underneath here. Put some glue underneath here. There we go. You're trying to fit all this in like a puzzle, so. All right, so that's that. And then I have these also, but I'm not going to put these in right now. I'm going to tuck these in a second. These are just little scrolls I made out of music note paper. Aren't those cute? Love those. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to add my flowers. And so I know I want to add one here, add them here. Of course here, that hides all my hardware there at the bottom. And then here. Okay, so let's add our flowers in. All right. So my first one I'm even having hang off the corner. It's a little bit, so it really hides that edge. The next one we're going to go right here. look at my time situation. Okay, you guys, in about 5 minutes, let me scoot this over. In about 5 minutes, it's going to switch over to a new video. So just go to the next part when it does. So this whole series, I think, will be 3 parts. And I don't want you to be fooled by thinking that it's that fast to do this, because it's really not. I spent a week working on this on and off in between other projects, because I made my flowers out of the Prima flowers, like making them by me, and I use sprays, inks, all kinds of stuff to paint these flowers up, and then I put them together. Remember, I used my own homemade rust paste and rusted all of these. So there was stuff that I did prior to putting all this together. So, and then I want that one there. So it does take a little bit of time to do these, because you have a lot of like working pieces that you need to prepare first and put them in the color palette. You need to paint them up, put them in the color palette that you want. And then everything comes together. Unless you buy everything already in the color palette you want. So, but I think the fun of it is to color it all up yourself, you know. When I was dyeing the flowers with the inks and sprays, I also dyed my feathers and then these pieces here. So, gorgeous. Okay. Then let's add this piece in. I'll have that in right here. Okay, I could do either one. I'm gluing metal to paper, so I would probably be fine. But at the same time, this is such a filigree piece. I'm going to use, I want it to dry really nice and clear and not look gunky underneath. So I am going to use my E6000 on this. But because I'm gluing metal to paper, I still would have been fine to use the the hot glue. But I'm going to use the E6000. Oh, and the best place for you to get your E6000 is in the crafts section at Walmart. It's the cheapest I found. Cheaper than, like, you know, the craft stores and stuff. So I think it's like not more than $3, like $2.87 or something like that. Another thing, I bought it by accident. It also comes in black, which is kind of interesting. So if you're doing something where, like, you know, that's black or that's really dark and you don't want things, you don't want the glue to be seen, I thought that's a really cool. Okay, what am I doing with these 2 rusted pieces? Yeah, okay, I'm going to lay these 2, these are 2 rusted pieces that look like coins, and I rusted them up. They're not coins. There's some stuff I had in my stash. They're these little coin-looking things that I actually used to sell when I was selling metal embellishments. So I have a lot of metal embellishments because I used to sell them a few years ago. So I have an obscene amount of metal embellishments, which I'm very grateful for. Now this one I didn't rust, but I thought, how different is that to have a piece that you didn't rust? So, you know what? This needs to scoot over. Okay, I'm glad I can move that over. Those little rusted pieces need to move over. So let's glue on this little butterfly right here. I was going to rust this piece too because I found it later. And I thought, you know what? It looks good not to have a piece rusted. So you have all different kind of elements. It'll make it more interesting. Now that's a butterfly. I'm going to put a rusted butterfly right on top of it though. I thought this is the rusted butterfly. I'm going to put that right on top. And I will be doing a video here, probably my next video after I'm done with this series, and just quickly show you how I made my rust paste. and we'll rust a bunch of metal pieces. We also might rust some of my plaster of Paris pieces that I make. We'll rust some of those up too. We'll just have a bunch of stuff. We'll have a little rust party. All right. We'll let that lay there so that, let me see what you guys are seeing. Coming a little closer so you guys can see that. All right. All right. What else are we doing? I need to put in this key and this piece here. Okay, so I have this little rusty key that I made. So I'm going to put that in. I'm going to put that in right here. Okay, let me open up. The E6000, I have to keep opening it up because it oozes out of the thing so quickly. So keep it closed or you'll have an E6000 oozy mess. I mean, it's kind of a hassle to have to keep opening up your opening up your glue, but it will be running everywhere. Okay. And then we have this here. I think that's what I want there. Yeah. Now this is the piece that I'm talking about. I'm going to put E6000 on the outside. And I'm going to, this is a piece of plaster of Paris that I put in a mold and then decorated it. And then I'm going to put the hot glue in the middle so we get that instant adhesion. This is a perfect prime example for that. So right here we get the best of both worlds. Anything that has a flat surface, that works out so good. So we get that instant adhesion and also long term. I could have still done, well with this piece, I'm doing it on paper, so I still probably could have done just hot glue. But this piece is kind of heavy and it just made me feel better. You're like, okay, Angela. Okay, now we have this other little rusted key. Okay, we're going to put that, I think I'm just going to put this little rusty key over here by itself in the corner. Or do I want to go